Before this video gets started, I just wanted to say thank you to all channel members for supporting the channel. It truly means a lot. If you want to become a channel member, hit the link down in the description. Now, let's get on with today's video. Hey, what's going on, guys? Pineapple Sway. Today I'm showing you guys a fun build that I crafted up for Joker. If you like what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. Starting with our firearm one, we have the Tier 2 Gorilla Grodd shotgun. And obviously for our secondary, we have a Tier 2 Gorilla Grodd pistol. However, we will not be using the pistol. This is just to help the Tier 2 set. And then same thing with our melee. We're not going to be using our melee. This is just the only melee that I had for Joker, so that is why I'm using it, although I'd recommend the Harvester. And then we have the Corrupted Heatwave grenade with Crazed on it. Probably the best grenade this season in my opinion, just because of what it does. And, you know, if you like big explosions, you know, it's really your best bang for your buck. Next we have the Tier 2 Gorilla Grodd shield to complete the set. Like what I said, Tier 2 Grodd is one of my favorite set bonuses in the game. Then we have the Turtle Still First Conduit, which you can craft now at the Penguin. So that's how we have it for Joker. And then we have a Tier 4 Scarecrow Neck Bomb. Although I do not think the bonus applies because we're in episode 7, but the reason why we're doing this is to basically combine it with Dr. Poison to get the unique synergy between him and Scarecrow, which is one of the best synergies in the game in my opinion. Although I could run a Dr. Poison assault rifle and run a Grodd neck bomb, just wanted to bring back the Dr. Poison neck bomb, which you can get in season 1, episode 1 Fear, and then Joker's talent tree, and then a quick look at my skill tree. But basically, you know, what are we trying to do with this build? Well, because of the Scarecrow and Dr. Poison synergy, basically we get a 100% overall damage boost to all enemies. So, not really sure exactly what that means or how that works. My assumption is that basically, since we get about a 2000% damage boost from Gorilla Grodd, we're going to get basically a 4000% damage boost, or maybe an additional 1000, because the damage numbers can be a little weird in Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, in all honesty. Some things will say one thing and then another will say, you know, something else entirely, but it doesn't actually do what it's saying. So basically what I was trying to utilize is launching the enemies up in the air so we can get a 500% boost to damage. And then since we're throwing the Heatwave grenade, we're going to burn them, so they're going to be afflicted, so we get that 100% overall damage boost from the synergy. So if you combine everything, the 500% from Heatwave, or from the Heatwave grenade, that'll be 1000, and then our 2000% from the Gorilla Grodd set bonus, which would give us 4000, would give us an overall damage boost of 5000 damage when they're in the air. Which I actually don't have the screenshot with me, but I was able to, you know, showcase that, so it's good to know that, hey, I was at least kind of right. If you have the Steel Jacket, and I think if you fully ramp up Grodd, you can get about an 8000% overall damage boost, or maybe even higher, maybe even 10,000% overall damage, just because of the synergy with Scarecrow and Dr. Poison. But yeah, this was a really fun build and pretty unique in my opinion. But mostly we were utilizing the close range of the shotgun and then the Heatwave grenade to launch them up in the air. Where I found this mission, or this build, succeeded the most was definitely the brute missions, as you can throw the Heatwave grenade down and then start shooting them once they're up in the air. Also as well, I was able to hit basically 80 mil grenades at times. You may not be able to see it in the clips, but from the gameplay I have saved, there was at points where I was hitting 80 mil grenades, which is pretty insane, considering just like that is a pretty high number. And I honestly think that with other characters, you could possibly ramp up those numbers even higher. Like Captain Boomerang, for example, if you run this build, you could probably get some crazy numbers, and maybe even Deathstroke. But wanted to build something unique for you guys before the end of episode 7 and we transition to episode 8. I'm going to be working on builds for other characters such as Miss Freeze, Lawless, and King Shark. Most likely the King Shark build will be tomorrow, since today is the 9th, and you'll see it on the 9th Although I'm recording this at 2:30 in the morning, it's fine. You guys will see it at 11:30 a.m. and then probably a King Shark build the next day. But like what I said, this is a very fun build, and I like to call it the Fear Gorilla Grodd build, since we're basically combining the powers of Scarecrow and Gorilla Grodd to make a pretty destructive combo. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that this build will be successful on Mastery 1000, because I'm not Mastery 1000, and I don't want to make a false claim, since it is a little bit different for some people. Since I have a bunch of talents that I've invested in since I'm level 600, the build might be a little bit different for me than it is for someone who's level 100, or maybe even level 30. So, or someone who's even higher than me. It just depends. But I would like to say, though, that for me at least, I could say that this build could probably get you to Mastery 250 with no problem. It's just you need all of the right items. But yeah, it was a ton of fun, really using this build. And, it's a different change of pace. Using the shotgun, you have to be a little more strategic. And you have to be a lot closer to the enemy. But then again, having a heat wave grenade, just throw it and it blows up. Although, I did sacrifice a tier 3 Gorilla Grodd slot, which does increase the radius by 50%. Joker has a built-in 50% grenade radius, like, in his talent tree. So that's why I felt that it was best to rock with that instead. Which, as you can see on this brute mission here, we were absolutely just frying. We throw the heat wave grenade down, then we get that bonus damage, and then we shoot him with the shotgun. And, we're hitting some pretty nice damage with the shotgun. Although, if there was a tier 2 assault rifle, I'd probably use that. And you could probably get better damage numbers with the assault rifle. I really don't know. Since I know sometimes with like Deathstroke, I was hitting like 800k crits with the shotgun, or no, the assault rifle, excuse me. While here with Joker, I'm hitting some pretty nice damage numbers. Although I'm not really familiar with how the pellets work in this game, but if obviously you can tell, like, if we're throwing that heat wave grenade down, these enemies are getting absolutely fried. And then right here, I popped the traversal to basically get the bonus from Gorilla Grodd, since you have to basically activate your traversal or suicide strike to get more of that bonus, the damage dealt bonus, and it stacks up 4 times. And right here, this was nice, just blowing up both of these enemies. Like what I said, in the brute mission, I can definitely sense that this build will just absolutely rip. Grunt mission, I would say it struggles a little bit, but nonetheless, it was a very fun build to use and to showcase. And honestly, too, like, I could probably do even more damage if I was crazing these enemies, but we were just sort of using the live wire affliction that spawns in on the base map. But yeah, so that's basically the build. I hope you guys enjoy this build. If you test out the build, let me know how high of a master you got with it. Anyways, though, this is Pineapple Sway. Like what I said, hope you guys enjoy this video. And one last thing before I go, since I always like to talk about build changes and improvements, I don't really think this build needs any changes or improvements. I think what we have currently is pretty amazing. But like what I said, anyways though, this is Pineapple Sway. Peace out, everybody.